Imagine a day. Just a regular day like any other. The sun's up, birds are chirping, the world seems to be waking up to another ordinary morning. You're reaching for your phone to check those overnight Bitcoin gains, maybe catch up on some news or scroll through social media, but something's wrong, really wrong. The screen is blank, no notifications, no updates, just a void. You try your laptop, nothing. The screen stares back at you, empty and unresponsive. The Wi-Fi router, once blinking with the promise of connection, is now a dead, lifeless box. No lights, no signals, just silence. The internet, the lifeblood of the modern world, is gone. Vanished. Kaput. The digital heartbeat of our society has flatlined. It sounds like a bad sci-fi movie, right? A plot twist too far-fetched to be real. Something out of a dystopian nightmare where robots rise and we're all forced to eat gruel. But this isn't fiction. The possibility, however remote, is enough to send shivers down the spines of even the most hardened tech giants. They know the stakes because the truth is our world runs on the internet. It's the invisible thread that weaves together the fabric of our daily lives. It's the invisible backbone of our global economy, our communication systems, our very way of life. From banking to shopping, from socializing to working, everything hinges on this digital lifeline. And if it were to disappear, the consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic. Financial markets would collapse, businesses would grind to a halt, and the global economy would be thrown into disarray. This isn't about missing your daily dose of cat memes or not being able to binge watch your favorite show. It's about something far more profound. This is about the very fabric of our society unraveling. The social order we've come to depend on would be at risk. It's about financial markets collapsing, sending shockwaves through every sector of the economy. Governments grinding to a halt, unable to function without their digital infrastructure. Political leaders scrambling to find solutions in a world suddenly thrust into chaos, and billions of people plunged into chaos and uncertainty. The panic would be palpable, the fear overwhelming. It's about facing a new reality, one where the digital world we've come to rely on so heavily has been wiped clean. So buckle up, folks, we're in for a rough ride, because we're about to take a deep dive into the abyss of a world without the internet. A world where the familiar comforts of our digital age are stripped away. And trust me, it ain't pretty. The road ahead is dark and uncertain, but it's a journey we must explore to understand the true value of our digital lifeline. The first thing to go would be the most obvious: communication. Imagine waking up one day and finding that your smartphone is nothing more than a fancy paperweight. The digital silence would be deafening. No more emails, no more instant messages, no more video calls with loved ones across the globe. The convenience of instant communication would be a thing of the past, leaving us to rely on slower, less efficient methods. The digital bridges that connect us would crumble, leaving us stranded in a sea of digital silence. The world would feel much larger and more isolated, as the threads that weave our global community together are severed. Remember landlines? Yeah, those clunky things your grandparents still use. They might become a hot commodity again, assuming, of course, that the phone lines themselves still work. But even then, the reach and speed of communication would be severely limited. They might become a hot commodity again, assuming, of course, that the phone lines themselves still work. And even if they do, the infrastructure might not be able to handle the sudden surge in usage. Because let's not forget, much of our communication infrastructure relies on the internet. Without it, even traditional methods of communication would be strained, leading to widespread frustration and confusion. But it's not just about staying in touch. The ripple effects would extend far beyond our personal lives, affecting every aspect of society. Imagine a world without Google Maps. No more turn-by-turn navigation, no more real-time traffic updates. We'd be back to relying on paper maps and asking for directions. No Waze to guide you through traffic. The daily commute would become a guessing game, with drivers left to navigate congested roads without any digital assistance. No Uber to hail a ride. Public transportation systems would be overwhelmed, and the convenience of ride-sharing services would be a distant memory. You would be stuck navigating the old-fashioned way with paper maps and a prayer. The simplicity of tapping a screen to find your way would be replaced by the uncertainty of manual navigation. And good luck booking a flight or reserving a hotel room. The travel industry, heavily reliant on digital systems, would be thrown into chaos. The entire travel industry would be thrown into disarray. Flights would be grounded, reservations lost, and travelers stranded with no way to reach their destinations. Then there's the issue of information access. The vast repository of knowledge available at our fingertips would vanish, leaving us to rely on physical sources. No more Wikipedia rabbit holes, no more online news updates, no more endless streams of cat videos. The internet's role as an information hub would be sorely missed. Libraries and physical books would suddenly become valuable again. The demand for tangible sources of information would skyrocket as people seek alternatives to the digital void. But even then, the sheer volume of information lost would be staggering. Decades of research, data, and knowledge gone in an instant. The loss would be felt across every field, from science to history to entertainment. Decades of research, data, and knowledge gone in an instant. The impact on education, business, and personal lives would be profound as we struggle to adapt to a world without digital resources. The digital darkness would be all-encompassing, touching every aspect of our lives. From the way we work to the way we socialize, the absence of the internet would be a constant looming presence. It would be a stark reminder of just how dependent we've become on this invisible force that connects us all. The internet is more than just a tool, it's the backbone of modern society, and its absence would be a wake-up call to our reliance on digital connectivity. Now let's talk money. The lifeblood of our modern economy, the stock market, is a complex web of transactions, investments, and speculations. It's a place where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. Because if there's one thing Wall Street hates more than a bad earnings call, it's uncertainty. Uncertainty can send shockwaves through the market, causing even the most seasoned traders to break a sweat. And the sudden disappearance of the internet would unleash a tidal wave of uncertainty, the likes of which we've never seen. Imagine a world where the digital backbone of our financial system just vanishes. Stock markets, already volatile at the best of times, would go haywire. The chaos would be unprecedented, with trading floors turning into scenes of utter confusion and panic. Trading would come to a screeching halt as investors, unable to access their online brokerage accounts, scramble to make sense of the situation. The digital tools they rely on would be rendered useless, leaving them in the dark. Remember the 2008 financial crisis, the collapse of Lehman Brothers, the bailout of major banks, and the global economic downturn? Yeah, that would look like a walk in the park compared to this. The scale of the disruption would be far greater, affecting every corner of the financial world. The value of stocks, bonds, and other financial instruments would plummet as panic selling grips the markets. Investors would rush to liquidate their assets, driving prices down even further. Cryptocurrency, that darling of the digital age, would likely fare even worse. The decentralized nature of digital currencies would become their Achilles heel in this scenario. With no blockchain to verify transactions, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the crypto gang would become about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. The trust that underpins their value would evaporate, leaving investors with worthless digital tokens. Speaking of useless, let's not forget about banks. Remember those grand institutions that hold our hard-earned cash? Well, in a world without the internet, they'd quickly become glorified storage units. ATMs would become useless metal boxes. Online banking would be a distant memory, and accessing your funds would require physically going to a bank branch and hoping they haven't been overrun by panicked customers. See, banks rely on the internet for everything from processing transactions to managing accounts. Without it, they'd be operating blind, unable to track deposits, withdrawals, or even verify account balances. It would be a recipe for chaos, with bank runs and financial panic spreading like wildfire. The global financial system, already teetering on a knife edge of complexity, would come crashing down. And without the internet to facilitate trade, commerce, and the flow of money, the world would be plunged into a deep and prolonged economic recession.
Can this scenario happen? Although this scenario seems terrifying, it is unlikely to happen in this manner. Yes, threats and cyber attacks occur continuously, but current systems and advancements in cybersecurity make a complete collapse highly improbable. In conclusion, while the scenario we've explored seems nightmarish, The world invests significantly in protecting digital infrastructure to ensure such a catastrophe does not occur. Stay tuned to Detective and Secrets for more intriguing topics. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content.